We got ourselves Bad Bunny joining in over on the Rogue. This time, Assassination, high heels in the back. Waiting to go for a... Not a fly. I was thinking it was just going to wait in the back and just go launch it himself. Short and Deadly joins the back of the warrior. We got us a demoniac on the sub this time around. You got a shovel? Shovel and a katana? My goodness. Short off the bat versus Stoneblood. We're missing one over on the team 2. Hopefully we'll get him in just a moment here. Fear onto Stoneblood is Short, trying to see if he can go for a bit of damage. Is going to go for an escape while the Crusade Wings are rolling in the Pally. Perfect opportunity for you to back up out. Let the second wind kick in for a moment. Stone is going to force a trinket out of Short and Deadly. Is going to go for a bit of a blade though, trying to see if he can maybe put some pressure, make Stoneblood play defensive. Stone right now needs to maximize the damage while Crusade is active. This could be an opportunity for him just to land a kill, potentially Short where the defensive blind comes out, but Stone put under pressure, having to actually kind of back away from the warrior a little bit. As Short unable to really recover any kind of healing from the Wake of Ashes, but so far he's got himself a decent advantage. If he can get himself the Mortal Strike as maybe Sharp Blades onto Stone, deny any kind of healing, he'll be golden. Stone actually using Lay Hands really early on. Surprisingly early. But honestly, might not be the worst. Now might be able to get himself stabilized and heals, and then come back in, and by the time Forbearance is off, then you'll have Bubble, then you'll have Bop, unless Short and Deadly pushes in and just puts in massive amount of damage. Wake of Ashes to follow for Stone, trying to see if he can get some pressure rolling in. Got him some Shield of Vengeance, so he can actually stay in for a good while. Short and Deadly back it up out if they sees a big defensor like this. Either Wings or a Shield of Vengeance, it's just gonna back up out of it. Doesn't need to fight it. Needs to wait out until he got himself much better opportunity. He is limited on the healing, but the Paladin can continue healing, but it's gonna be a lot of pressure onto the Paladin. Defense stands for Short Deadly. Does go for a charge stun until Bladestone. That is gonna be blessing out protection for Stone. Doesn't really focus on his own self-healing. Short and Deadly taking a little bit of damage, but not that much. But for Stone, he's still kind of lowish on health right now. Short and Deadly able to avoid him fairly easily, and now there's no more that immunity. Will not be seen to stun for a while. In fact, Short and Deadly caught up a lot of healing pretty quickly here with a Hand of Freedom for Stone, trying to look for an escape. No immunity for a good amount of time, and maybe if Short can get on top of him, I think try to go for a Dragon's Roar. I don't know if the bleed was able to connect Warbreaker, but that's a stun. I think the bleed has set in. For Stone right now, he just needs to buy himself time until Bubble is available. I don't know what Forbearance is for him right now. Blind as stun comes out for Stone. This should buy him just enough time. Got himself full wings. Bubble right after. Short and Deadly is going to leap out of it entirely. Stone cannot really go for easy recovery. He's going to try to use Flashlight every global, but all Short needs to do is just wait this out. Got himself a parry, so might be able to be alive just long enough. Shield of Vengeance up for Stone Blood right now. Does end up dropping off of the platform. Short and Deadly with the Reflect really quick in case there's a stun ready for him. But his Shield of Vengeance still holding on strong. Does a bit of damage. Stun it Short. Does go for a trinket. Warps up to follow. In that execute rate. Stonebolt right after. Trinkets out of this one. Needs some healing. Big execute right after. Wait a second. Oh! I was so close between the two. Almost went down. With Chilchi gonna be up next. My man Chill Pills on the Monkus. Void Elf too. Actually, very interesting that you went Void Elf. I think that might still be really good with that mobility though. Stun onto the monk, the warrior trying to see if he can find himself and escape, looking for survivability as best as humanly possible. His shield does end up kind of rolling past him a little bit. Legs to follow, got him some big kicks, blackout kicks, just over. There's just no way. Hold on a second. Short and Deadly is still alive? Oh, I was thinking for a second, like there's no way he lives that, right? Or no way he loses that, right? There's just no way. You know what? I like how Chill Pills so far has been able to play Death Knight. Then his first ult was Shadow Priest. Not the tankiest class, but much more survivable than a Death Knight. And he played super well with it. Now he's going to a Monk, which is also just as fragile, but it's got a lot of burst and definitely better healing than that of a Death Knight. So I'm actually interested to see how he's going to end up playing this thing out. Full Wood Eruption with a Fear. Chill does end up going for a reversal. All those dots back into high heals, at least able to avoid some of the damage. Does deny the Mastery amp up damage from high heals too. Interrupt on one Shadow for just a second. Zuen joins in. That is still a Siphon on you. Has himself Karma in case he needs to. Does burn the Karma. High heals have to go for big defensive. Mass kick still going through the disperse. That's a big defensive button for high heals, and he's still cracking right through those with a kick right after. Got himself a fatty shield, and is going to be able to get himself an escape, looking for the recovery. While Zuen is already savaging Varka, as well as Bad Bunny and Dioniac up next. Which one of you guys is going to be? It's going to be Bad Bunny. If Chills is careful, he doesn't have a trinket. He needs to be very quick set here. If you got a defensive, Bad Bunny most likely going to open up with a Garrote. Maybe there's going to be a moment in between a defensive, between the stun. You can cap before the stun comes through. Does get a trinket. You just got to find a way to live. You technically do have a defensive. If you can remove the poisons, you might be alright. Does get hit with a disarm. Got himself forward. Big defensor can maybe port again. Just needs to find a way to recover. Even to ring a piece to try to give himself a little bit of space to work with. As long as he could recover, no trinket for Bad Bunny. If you have a big left sweep, you can make something work. Potentially could be a big go. Just need to make sure it's perfect. Evasion up, but it's going to be parrying for chill with a killer shot right after. I think that is over. Unless somehow he lives it. Needs to remove the dots as soon as possible. Spike at the very end was not going to let you live whatsoever. Well done though for chills. First time in these duels on a monk, and I think just got up with a little bit of gear on that thing, right? Bad Bunny though, up next versus Chicago. Roots immediately. As long as you get yourself a decent setup, still holding on to a cloak, as well as a death mark. If you get a big death mark on Chicago, since Chicago likely is not playing a totem that can remove poisons, it's going to be full wholesale damage. Does get to go for a knock. Bunny unable to go for Shadow Step. Garrote stopping Chicago's healing is going to actually put a lot of pressure on you. If you can stay on top of the Shaman the entire time, you will be okay. Chicago taking a lot of damage, even though they're having to keep the rogue at bay. It still is a ton of pressure. Does go for the Guardian. Whatever damage you do right now, it is going to help a ton. Lightning Lasso helping you recover. Basically trading Hellbars very quickly, or equalizing them at the very least. Going to be a quick stun. Trinket out of this one. Bad Bunny with a blind right after does need to get himself an escape into a disarm to Chicago. Needs to find a way out of this one. That or find a way to kill Chicago right now. Next up can be huge, but it's Storm Bolts. Oh, not Storm Bolts. Storm Strikes ramping up on the left side of the field with Varka gonna be up next. Big knock for Chicago. Needs to find an escape right now. You're under pressure. You have the generation. They have a lot of knocks trying to go for healing. Walls available. You gotta pre-wall the next stun, otherwise you're just done. Thunder. Maybe if you can grounding that in the last second. When the sun comes out, maybe potentially got himself the root as well. No handle freedom for Varka. This is good for Chicago. Look at that recovery. Look at the amount of health they were able to bring back very, very quickly. Guardian not available for about like a minute and a half, I imagine. So as long as you use wall at the right time, you'll be okay. Might be a wall situation. Try to avoid it as best as possible. Looking for a heal and looking to stabilize. Has a Draenor Racial too. You might want to use that as soon as possible. That is going to be a lot of healing for you to get. Was that a grounding totem? I think he was able to ground a Hodge just now. I think that was a grounding totem for the Hodge, which is perfect for Chicago. Still not out of the woods. Wall this right now. Does wall lay on hands? Wait a second. If you can do enough damage for Varka. Oh, he just got to escape. Just one more hammer. Does survive it barely. Let's try to keep it at bay. No health for Chicago whatsoever. Got himself Maelstrom from the Raptors into a root right after. No forbearance for this game. If you got any kind of damage, you might be okay. Knocking him back for just a second. I think you're just still under pressure, right? I don't know if you can go counter offensive. Thunder does not connect for some reason. Knock back yet again is just gonna have to play into that bubble. But that knocks, the knocks are huge right now. Chicago needs another grounding totem for the stun. If you ground the next stun, you will be golden. That's not a lot of pressure for you to deal with. Wings are not up for Varka anymore. As long as you're right, you will be okay. Big hammer hanging over your head. Lightning Lasso. It's probably gonna bubble. Potentially does go for the bubble. If you can live it somehow, I don't even know how you do it. Trying to see if you can juke the guy around the boxes. But at this point, yeah, Guardian popped it. Trying to heal. Nothing you can do there though. With Ring gonna be up next as a Beastmaster Hunter. Giving Varka at least an opportunity to catch up. Kind of a full heal. Yeah, wants to go for a full honor duel. If only rogues could somehow help him out healing. There's not much you can really do there right now, yeah? It's gonna go for a nice little bow either way though. I like this honorable duel. Does give an opportunity. You know what? You actually could, I guess, attack his like non-primary pet and get some holy power off of that if you wanted to, right? I don't know if the bird or the cat is your primary pet, but technically just hit that thing a couple of times, right? Technically, yeah. Yeah, it's much harder to get a Paladin to go for like a full reset anymore, just because they don't have flashy heals they can just spam out. It's just on a cooldown now. Hammer hanging over the hunter's head as they got the pets into a frenzy, whipped them up, ready to go as Varka trying to see if he can find a better angle. Full Crusade is active for Ring. You got to use every defensive to live this. That's a lot of damage from the hammer. We didn't see it above our heads, but it's not like it disappeared with a faint death. Got yourself a big defense with the cloak proccing. Varka taking a lot of damage, so Blessing of Protection will not stop you. If you can remove it with a Trank Shot, you'll be golden. Oh my god, Varka just had a nice little pixel there, just seeing where Ring was at. Just took the hit. My goodness, that was a lot of damage. Chill with two. Varka bringing it back for his team, and just about almost everybody got to play except for Boris over on the Rogue. My goodness, that was so good. Let's get us another going, boys. Yeah.